Good morning, everybody. It's a gorgeous day, and I have what I hope will be a very exciting video for you, but I'm just going to get into the work and see how it all unfolds. But I'm hoping that this is going to be a video where I actually finish a project. Crazy talk, I know, but I'm really hoping to finish the door trim and to cross the door off my list as a thing that I actually completed as opposed to another half-finished job at my place. I do have plans to finish everything up. It's all kind of a process. I feel like it'll all come together in one big, massive finished thing at the end, but it is good to have little wins along the way, and getting the trim and the grate and the window frame and maybe even a shutter onto my front door will be a massive win for me. Plus, I think I'm going to try to get a couple of other smaller carpentry projects done in this video as well. So let's get into the work. I'm excited to switch focus to something a little bit less labor intensive. I've been down in the water tank doing lots of heavy stuff. So switching to some fine carpentry is going to be just what I need, I think. And I'm excited to get started. So let me show you what I have in mind and let's get this door done. So here's my front door. And getting to this point has been a long, arduous process. There's all kinds of insulation and other fun things happening underneath this wood. This video is going to be all about finishing it off, and that means I'm going to be putting a little door sweepy thing on the bottom, a grate over top of this hole, some kind of a frame around this lock thing, or maybe I'll even cover the white thing up with a little box because I don't really like it. I'm going to put some trim top and bottom to cover the screws, and then the most difficult part will be the window. I made this circle thing, which obviously needs to be refined and cut down to size as a possible frame for the window, but I'm not entirely sure I want to use that. I have another idea brewing, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's my plan. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me on this, lots of little finicky things, and I'm excited to have a go at it. I don't think I've ever actually done any finished carpentry type stuff before. Most of my building experience involves working on buildings, straw bale buildings, cob buildings, the base structure, and I've never actually been around when it's come time to do the fine details. So my carpentry experience, besides making some kitchen cabinets for my place, is minimal for this kind of stuff. So it's going to be a fun learning experience, I think. I'm looking forward to it. I don't see it as being too difficult of a job as long as I'm patient, and I have some ideas for what I could do which I think will make it an interesting thing to build. So I'm looking forward to diving in. Let me show you my little setup and then we'll get started on finishing this door. Okay, so I've got my little carpentry setup happening over here. I don't think I'm in the best spot for shade, but it's actually a beautiful morning, so that's okay. I've got my Workmate Plus that I bought with funds from Super Thanks and PayPal donations, so thanks to everybody who's donated to those things. My dad put it together for me, and then over here I have everything I should need to do the door project and also a couple of other mystery carpentry projects that I'll get to later in the video. So this wood here is what I'll be using for the trim, and I'll use this for the grate. So I'm gonna start by cutting some of this stuff to size and seeing how it looks on the door. Anyone who's watched my channel for a little while will know how much I love Japanese saws. I have another one that I use quite regularly, but the blade is bashed up and I can't find the spares because my life is currently in chaos. So I ended up picking up another one that's smaller and it's a bit sturdier and probably slightly better for very fine work, and so I wanted to get it for the door. It's a brand called Suijan, and I ended up picking it up on, I think I got it on Amazon UK and had it shipped to my aunt's place, and I collected it when I was there for a visit. So a lot of people ask me where I get these. Amazon. If you're in Portugal, I've found that the blades come from Japan, so they often get stuck in customs, so I don't usually risk trying to order them from Portugal, but if I can get them delivered to somewhere else and collect them, then that's what I do. Portugal is brutal with customs. Anything coming from outside the EU will get taken, and you'll have to pay a fee. Even people having letters sent, used clothes, all kinds of crazy things. The smallest of things will get taken, and it's a bit of a faff to get it out, and it costs extra money. So, top tip, if you're living in Portugal, don't risk ordering stuff from outside the EU. It's annoying, but it is what it is, and I guess you just have to adapt. So I'm very excited to give this thing a try for the first time, and I think the door is going to be a fitting project. Annoyingly, I forgot to charge my camera battery last night, so of course it died. I have it fully charged now after taking a break, a forced break of a couple hours, but it's okay. I used that as an opportunity to meet some friends for coffee. I did do a few cuts for the grate at the bottom, and I've had some thinking that I wanted to do as well. So all is not lost, and now I'm ready to push forward with the door. So let's get to it. So that's the idea. I think I want to stick to doing just top trim and bottom trim, and then something around the window, and something around the grate, and something around the lock. I want to stain this, but I haven't decided if I want to do linseed oil, if I want to go with something a little darker. So I have the stuff I need to do some tests, which I might do now actually. So I've got some old funky looking linseed oil turpentine mix, and then I've got this off the shelf stuff, some kind of a stain, Palisandro color. Not sure what that means exactly, but I like the color. So I'm going to do some tests. I'll test it on the back of this and see how they both look. I don't know why that has weird lumps in it, but you can see it doesn't really change the color so much. Ooh, that seems pretty dark. Don't know if I like that. Do not like this. I don't think I like it anyway. Maybe it's going on too thick. I don't know, that seems too dark, that seems too light. That's weirdly streaky. That's got mysterious lumps in it. Let's let it dry and make a decision later. So these pieces are going to be for the grate. I'll show you on the door, but just quickly. This will be sort of in the interior. Then I'll have some short pieces over top that will frame it. I'll cut 2 more that go there. And then I'm going to do some very finicky work making sort of a crisscross where I actually end up chiseling out portions of each of these pieces of wood. It's going to be ridiculous, but I think it could look cool. First things first, make sure this fits. So something like that, and then this is going to be covered with the frame that goes over it. It's all going to be attached, and it'll just allow me to push the grate in fairly easily. Come back. I'm going to cut the crisscross pieces, chisel them out, and put it all together as one, and then add the frame after. Seems like the logical thing to do. Okay, I'm gonna cut some more pieces and I'll see you again very soon. I made a waffle. In case there's anybody out there that still doubts how much I love doing things the hard way, this door grate is gonna be a perfect example. I do not need to be doing it the way I'm gonna do it, but I feel like it's gonna be a very fun challenge. I'm gonna enjoy the process, and I think it'll look really cool at the end if I can pull it off, which is a big if. So imagine, if you will, this thing being flat. In order to get it flat, I'm gonna have to basically chisel out a piece from here, a piece from here, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and basically do it for every piece 3 times. Plus, I'll also have to chisel out in here, and then also little lap joints there as well. It is fairly insane, I acknowledge that. Plus, I really want the squares to be perfect-ish. And so I've got a bit of measuring to do before I can actually mark anything out, and that's going to be a little tricky as well. Yes, I realize this plan is quite bonkers. It's probably overkill. There's definitely a better way to do this where I don't have to chisel. I could have just bought some thinner pieces of wood and overlapped them and glued them together so that it wasn't completely flat, but I decided that I wanted to do this because I haven't chiseled in a really long time and I really do enjoy chiseling. So by the end of this, I'll probably hate chiseling, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna start with one piece of wood and just see how I go. And if it's utterly terrible, if it looks like crap, if it's painful to do, if I'm losing the will to live, I'll switch over to a different plan. But I've had this idea in my head for a while and I just want to give it a try. So I'm gonna mark everything out and then we're gonna do a lot of chiseling. Okay, marking out didn't take too long, though it is difficult working with such tiny pieces. My first plan of attack, I guess, is to chop out these little sections here and then cut some sort of lap joints on the ends. This part doesn't matter quite as much because it's going to be inside the door. It's not going to be seen by anyone, so it's a good place to practice and test proof of concept before I dive into the crisscross parts, which are going to be a complete and total nightmare to do, I'm already predicting, but maybe it'll be fun. We'll see. So let's chisel some stuff. This is going to be quite an insane project, but I like a challenge. So I've got some very small, very precise cuts to make. This is going to be quite tricky. Somehow this seems like overkill for this little job, but you do what you gotta do. Seems like the hardest part is going to be finding a way to clamp this down. So I have a lot of cuts like this in my future. I haven't decided yet if this is going to be a terrible idea, but these sorts of things take time, so I'm finding it quite enjoyable thus far. Yeah, so it fits in. I'll take a little lap joint out of C, and then it'll all be, in theory, flat. So I'll see you soon with hopefully some more reasonably successful cuts. I'm back. It's about 5:30. I've been going at this for quite a while, but I'm really liking it. I've been cutting these little lap joints in the end bits, and it all fits together into that piece that I chiseled out earlier. So let's cut one more lap joint together, and then I'll fit it all together, and hopefully you'll have a better idea of what this madness is that I'm attempting to accomplish. So this is what I've got so far, and I'm gonna make this piece look like these pieces. So C, A, E. I'm very pleased with how this is going. This will be glued and also fastened in with sort of a frame. So these little joined things won't really be seen. I'll have to be a bit more careful when I start doing the middle parts. But I'm happy to have practiced on this. I've got my proof of concept, and though this is going to take ages, I think it'll be fun. Yes, I said fun. For me, this is a lot of fun. Maybe I have a very sick idea of what constitutes fun times, but I'm going to really enjoy this. It's probably not going to be a project that I work on day after day after day. I think what I'll do with this one is do some physical work. I've got lots to do in the water tank still. I've got lots to do on the tool shed foundation, and that's going to be super heavy work. So I'm going to duck and dive between the door and some other heavy tasks. And once it gets hot, it'll be a nice job that I can do without killing myself. And if it's too hot outside, I can move this entire operation into my house as well, stick the fan on me, and just kind of slowly work through it. And as you've seen, it's definitely going to be slow work. So I'm pretty pleased with how this is going. And I'm happy I have a plan for the grate. It's just going to be time consuming. I have a plan for the rest of the door as well, except the shutter and the window frame, which I'm still thinking about. So lots of fun things to come, plus a couple of other bonus carpentry projects as well. So I'll say goodbye from today. I might get back to this tomorrow, this weekend, in a few weeks, who knows, but I'm going to be slowly working towards, emphasis on slowly, getting this door done. So I'll see you soon. Good morning, it's the next day, and I've decided to push on, not with the door, but I'm going to switch focus to the mystery project. because it's going to be a pretty simple thing to put together, and it's going to make a very big impact in how I organize my life inside the house. It involves using this terrible shiplap stuff, and hopefully it doesn't take me too long. So let's just get started, and you'll see what I'm making at the end. This stuff is so crappy, but I don't need massively amazing quality for the project I'm doing, and we're going to try something a little bit nuts. Let's see if it works. Okay, let's see if this is just crazy enough to work. I could definitely use power tools for this and just buzz right through, but I'm in a hand tools kind of mood today, so I'm just going to give this a try and see if it works. Okay, that worked more or less to plan. Let's assemble. Before assembly, I actually have just a few more cuts to make. I've been scrounging around for scrap wood for this project. I don't want to use new stuff, but it's really hot. It's about 4 p.m. and even though I'm in the shade, and even though I'm really not doing very much physical work, I'm exhausted and I'm gonna go for a siesta. So it's siesta season. When the temperatures start to creep up to 35 and above, that's when nap time comes into play. So I'm gonna go have a little siesta, fan on face, chill out a bit, and return to this task in a few hours when the sun is going down and hopefully it's a lot cooler. And hopefully I'll be able to finish this thing up. I'm back. I had a wonderful snooze. It's about 5:30 and it's still oppressively hot out here, but I'm happy to report that my house is very cool, so it's really comfortable and nice in there. I've got my pieces cut that I need, and I'm ready to assemble everything. This definitely isn't going to be the sexiest thing that I make, but it's all about utility, not beauty, so I'm ready to bash this thing together and put it in place. A lot of these pieces are pretty bowed and very crappy. That's why I cut some extras. It doesn't have to look perfect, but it does have to fit together. I don't ask for much. Ooh. Is it gross or is it kind of awesome? This is what happens when you lose the cap of your glue, I suppose. Come on. Is there even any glue left? Oh, yep. Maybe that'll do. I'm sick of trying. Okay. Come on. Come on. Okay, the cap needs more work and I need to wash my hands, so I'll be back very soon. Okay, I think the glue is a go. I hope. Yeah. There we go. So, like I said, it's definitely not going to be pretty. So I've got lots of gluing and nailing still to do. I'm going to be attaching this piece onto the bottom. And then basically I'm just making a shelf to go inside my metal shelf in there. So it's all going to kind of screw into the base of the metal shelf and I can put my clothes on it. So it's not the most amazingly exciting project ever, but it's going to be incredibly useful for me. And I've been meaning to do it for a while, so I'm happy to just get this done and have an extra place to put clothes. So I'm going to check back in again when I have the shelf more assembled and then we can put it into place. Okay, that's the support. The other one's already in place. And I have a shelf. It's not too splintery. It's flattish. It'll hold clothes. So I think it'll do the trick. Let's go put this thing in place, or attempt to put this thing in place, and see if it all fits. Apologies, it's a bit dark over in these parts. So here's the first support. It's just sort of held in by screws and kind of dangling. So I'll do the same over here. I'll hook this one on and then screw the other side in. But first, I'm going to get the shelf through here so I know that it fits. Come on. All right. That's promising. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is absolutely, definitely, positively not my finest work, but will it hold clothes? It'll hold clothes, so that's fine with me. It just gives me a little extra space to store my clothes. It's not very organized right now, but it will be soon, so that's a little win. It's definitely more wobbly than I'd like, but I can stick a shim or something under one of the corners and have it be nice and sturdy. But really, it's just holding clothes and it serves its function, so I'm pretty pleased with that. So making that shelf was a nice little win for me, especially after discovering how long the door grate thing is going to take me. So finishing that off completely is a fair ways off, I'd say. But be assured that the next time I do a video about the door, I'm going to complete everything. I'm not going to be just doing a bit here and a bit there. I'm going to finish it all at once in one video and be done with this project because I'm kind of over it at this stage. So I've got a little shelf, I've started the grate, I have plans for most of the door, and I feel good. It's been a surprisingly difficult day. It's really hot, I'm quite tired, and it's really draining kind of standing out in this heat. There's no breeze at all, and it's a little humid as well, so it's kind of brutal out here. But it's much better doing this light carpentry work than it is slogging in a water tank or doing gardening work. It's pretty much impossible to do that kind of work during the day on a day like this. I think this is the first day of the hot summer. So far it's been bearable, and for me, the temperature when it goes above 35 degrees, that's when it gets really, really difficult to be in. So it's a sign of things to come, but I'm so grateful that we haven't had hot weather in June up till about now. Last year it started sometime in May and just carried on through the whole summer, so I feel like we're already kind of winning in 2023 as far as the weather goes. So hopefully we have a nice summer with not too many heat waves, but yeah, we've had it pretty easy so far, so I'm really grateful for that. So that's it. I'm even standing here talking. It's difficult. I'm going to go hide back in the house. I think the shade in front of the house and the insulation on my door is really, really helping. It's quite cool in there. So I'm going to go park myself in front of the fan, eat an ice cream, and chill out for the rest of the night. So that's it from this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, want to leave a question, anything, just want to say hi, please leave me a message below. And I'll see you in the next video.